Hello, hello, and welcome to my craft room this afternoon. If you just bear with me one moment while I check that I am live in the right place. And make sure the sound's off on my computer. You may hear a fan in the background. It's very hot in my craft room, so I do have a fan blowing. Hopefully it won't interfere too much. Was touch and go whether I was going to come in this afternoon and do a Facebook Live or not, just because of the heat. It's quite hot in here. Anyway, I am live and I seem to be in the right place, so if people are joining me, then please do pop a comment in the comment box. Let me know that you're watching, and I'll try and keep an eye on the comments, and in case there's any questions or anything. Today's seems a bit silly, really. It's probably one of the hottest days of the year, and I'm actually going to make a Christmas card. The paper, I'll show you the paper and the stamp set's actually carried over from last year into the annual catalogue, and it's one of my favourite stamp sets, or stamp set and dies, in the fact that it's did make quite a few cards with it last year. The Merriest Trees, lots and lots of different techniques you can do with this one. I think I'm right in saying that the people that came to my classes last year enjoyed making double Z fold cards and things with those. This is the other stamp set that I'm going to be using. I'm just using the Christmas from that one. Okay, the papers, as I say, they did carry over, so there's not a huge picture of them, but I'm going to show you them. They're here on page 101, along with the details to the Merriest Trees stamp set. They are quite beautiful. I didn't get them last year. I don't know why, but you know, they are really quite pretty. So I'll just show you those at the moment. This is, I don't know if you can see this, but it's got like silhouetted, it's got deers in there. You would chop this down here, so you could make 6 card fronts out of one sheet. And on the back of that one, fingers aren't working today, is like a grey water wash. Okay, this one possibly cranberries, not sure. As you can see, you get 2 of each, so you can use both sides. That's a lovely pretty peacock background. Then there's this gorgeous sort of Christmas tree snow scene. So we're in the middle of decorating, and I've been doing the woodwork and my hands just really aren't working very well. There's a paler grey water wash background on that. Again, a nice pretty greens and blues, and a darker blue. I think that's blueberry bush, or I would imagine that brightness. And then there's this lots of little Christmas trees. Again, it could be a snowy scene, and a Lost Lagoon water wash background there. So as you see, there's only one of those because that is the piece of Designer Series paper that I'm using today. Okay, so I'm going to show you the type of card we're making first of all, because the one that I've made is using the Adventurous Sky kit. I've seen some of these made with butterflies and flowers and bees. You know, you could make it with any sort of stamps, and you know, it works really easily, and you can make quite large ones. There's some rainbow ones, there's all sorts, and I wanted to have a go at making it with a male recipient in mind first of all. So I've used the Adventurous Skies. You'll have seen I've used this quite a bit, and it is a bit thicker, but it will still go as a normal card. I've used designer series paper, pattern paper, for the mechanism inside because it's less bulky. So therefore it's, you know, it does go in a normal envelope, it will go through the normal post, and it doesn't weigh loads. So it's called a stadium wave card, and that's why, as you can see, it's a wave like so. Okay, now it looks quite complicated, but actually when you know how to make it, it is really quite simple. You just need to make sure your measurements are correct really on these bits. Okay, this is obviously the layer to write on, but yeah, so it's quite a special card, I think. Okay, so as I said, I am going to be using the Merriest Trees. I haven't already made it in this, so I'm hoping what I've got in my head will work. We will have to wait and see. I've done a lot of the die cutting, but not all of it. These are some of the bits that I will go through it all with you. Okay, so it is even though the card's going to be like this, it is just a standard card base, and I've got a piece of pattern paper rather than a white piece. I've got a piece that will go there, then I've got the trees to go on that side, so we're using a lot of pattern. This came out of a sheet of 12 by 12. I've got a little bit left, but it does use quite a bit, and then this one will go on the front. So that bit I can actually go ahead quite easily and glue in place. So hottest day of the year, and we're making the first Christmas card of the year, but yeah, you've got to start somewhere, haven't you? Okay, it's very quick just to stick those down, and then the bit on the front. Okay, there will be more going on the front shortly, but we'll come to that in a moment. Okay, so for the wave mechanism, I've cut a number of pieces of designer series paper. This measures 3/4 of an inch by 8 inches, which is 1.9 centimetres by 20.3 centimetres. Say you can use cardstock, but it would make it bulkier. Right, then they're scored at 1/2 inch, 1 1/4 inches, 2 inches and 5 inches. In centimetres, that's 1.9. No, it's not, sorry, I'm reading the wrong measurements. 1.2, 3.1, 5 and 12.6 centimetres. And simply to make the measurements, you're going to bend it in half at the 5. Then it goes mountain, valley, mountain, so it ends up like that. And then you're going to just put some glue on this tab here. You can use liquid glue, you can use seal or tear and tape, whichever you prefer. And then that one's just gonna glue onto there. Okay, so I'll just go through that one more time. So bends in the middle at the 5, then you've got a mountain, a valley and a mountain. Pop your glue on. And there you have it. Now the number of those that you need will depend on what you're going to put in the middle. You could do it from one side to the other. So, I mean, this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 in there. And that sort of does just over half the card. Okay, it just depends on what you're doing. And obviously the bigger the sort of bits that you want to put on, you might want to make these a bit thicker. You might want to use cardstock if it's going to be something that's heavy. Okay, then as you can see, I've put tear and tape along one side of most of them. I've got a couple that don't have it because I'm not going to be sticking anything to those. Okay, so to start off with, you're gonna, once you've decided what you need, you're going to take the tear and tape off the one edge and making sure that you line this up. So I would do it on grid paper or something like that and try and put it not quite half, maybe about halfway over. It's quite tricky to do this when I'm going to do it by eye rather than, because it's quite tricky without being able to see over the top of the camera. Okay, so if you can try and keep this as straight as possible and then take the next bit off. The only problem with tear and tape is if you push it down too hard to start off with, you will get it stuck on there and then it will rip the paper. Okay, so we need another one. Now, I'm not doing as many on this one, so I want think I don't want any more with tear and tape on, because I'm only doing the 5. So, okay, so that's going to be my stadium wave. Okay. The next thing you want to do is just by the score line, not right on it, but just down a little bit from it, is work out where you want your wave to be. I'm going to put mine on this side, and then I'm going to pop some glue on that one, and holding it in place, I'm going to close the card. Okay, and then add some glue on this one, and again close the card up, stick it down, and because I'm not doing as many, you know, the more you do, you can get it so that the card lies flat, but I don't want extra on here. I just want the ones that I need. Okay, so I've cut already some dies from the Merriest Trees. This is the gift tag bit, and I'm going to use that as a just sort of there in order to, you know, write on. But I'll come back to that in a moment. Now I'm not sure, as I say, if this is going to work, so you just have to bear with me a moment. I've cut some of these small trees, got a bit of glue on there, and I want those, in my mind I'm going to have Merry and then Christmas along there. So I've cut some of these, and I've got my alphabet a la mode dies along with this self-adhesive glittery speciality paper. So they've got, ooh, it is adhesive, so you can pull the backing off. Now they're a little bit bigger, so I don't want to have all of the backing off, because I don't want this bit to be stuck anywhere. So I'm just gonna peel and cut 2/3, I would say, of the back, just so that that can then stick on there. And as I'm doing it, you'll see what it is that I'm trying to do, and hopefully it will work. So let's just pop these out. And again, because see, it's gonna, some of the bits are gonna overlap, I'm just gonna cut off the backing where I need it to stick. Okay, so we've got the M, we've got an E, now I've got 2 sets of these dies, so on some of the letters you do get more than one die. I think the R you don't, or at least I couldn't find it in the one, so I got my second set out and cut the second R from there rather than having to do two. Now the back's come off of this bit, so I need to try and stick the back on. I don't know whether that will work or not. I'm going to take it out of there and try. It's not going to stick back on. Never mind. It's only a little bit, so I'll work out a way of getting rid of that stickiness. And then the Y. Okay, so that's the bits that I want to go on the wave. Now, as I say, I've not tried this to make sure it works. I'm hoping it works. It just about, as you can see, it just about fits. So it'd be M, E, R, R, and then the Y. So I'm gonna stick these on next. So you stick them onto these tabs. Okay, so the M, just making sure I'm not sticking anything that I shouldn't be sticking. And then the last letter there, so you've got your Merry. Okay, let's just pop those out the way so I don't lose them. Now, so I want to be able to put Christmas down here, and I'm going to be maybe a little bit brave. Maybe I should have done this beforehand, but I am going to stamp straight onto here if I can. So I want it sort of there, so I need right, I've got my Lost Lagoon, so it's all gonna match. Just gonna do a few taps and then we'll hopefully yes, I'm quite happy with that. Okay, so there's your Merry and your Christmas, and then as I say, we've got our little gift tag here, and I'm going to put a bit of this beautiful iridescent stripes through, just as a bit of ribbon. And somewhere, I've really got to tidy my office up, my craft space up. It's a right mess at the moment, so after I've done my live today, I'm going to be tidying it up, ready for the next bit of crafting. Okay, so that's just a white bit of baker's twine, and I'm going to chop these small ends off, and I'm going to just do that. I've got a mark on there, so I will probably just, so that's going to sit like sort of like that. I'm going to glue that on. It's just somewhere for you to write, you know, who it's to, who it's from. And I'm going to stick, just because I've got a little tiny mark there, I'm going to stick one of these gorgeous iridescent faceted gems, just to add a bit more sparkle. Can never have enough sparkle, can you, at Christmas? Okay, so that's the inside of the card. Now, so it's going to go this way. I just need to move it out the way for a moment while I find, I did have a piece, now I can't find it. Oh, bear with me, it's fallen on the floor. Okay. So I'm going to stamp on here, first of all, using the big tree, but I won't be cutting out the whole of that tree because it'll be too big. Okay, bit of that. I'm going to pop the ink away. And now I just need to bring in my mini Stampin' Emboss, and I'm just going to cut this tree. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of branches. So just get that straight. Okay. So there's the tree, and that's going to sit on there quite happily. Pop those out the way. Right, so with my stamped tree, I'm now just going to add some bits of decoration. As you can see, they've all come off inside, so I'm just going to pop these out and add some bits of bling to my tree. It really is a bit strange, to be honest, sitting here with a fan going, feeling very hot, making a Christmas card, but you know, needs must. Okay, so there's that bit. I've got a star here, and I'm going to just something's fallen down over the other side. Just gonna pop the star on. And I'm just going to stick this on. I don't really want any more dimension to the card, so I'm just going to use normal glue to stick it on. Somewhat in the middle. Okay, and I'm just thinking whether I'm going to add a sentiment, just a little sentiment. There's to you and yours, love and joy, all sorts on there. I think what I might just do is add this little one, to you and yours. Pop it down. Right, now how I cut my card bases, I end up with loads and loads of spare bits of white. So I'm just gonna take one of those. Put it on my stamping mat because it's a photopolymer. It's not straight, and that is fine, because I am now going to take my paper snips and I'm just going to trim it up to how I want it. So it's just literally going to be a small sentiment, and I'm going to pop that. Again, I'm going to just put it down with liquid glue so that it's flat, and I think I'm going to pop it that side. Okay, so that's really the finished card. It worked exactly how I'd hoped it would, so I'm really pleased about that. The letters aren't sticking. Yeah, I'm quite chuffed with that. So that's the Christmas one, and that's my original aeroplane. So I say, it's really quite a lot easier than it looks, so why not give it a go and share any makes that you do on my Facebook page. Okay, thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next week. Take care.